So these mini sessions are not about healing everything and solving all your problems. They are about making a movement in your field. So we are going to work with 5 representations. So I invite you to bring 5. Again, it can be sticky notes, memo pages, whatever object you have. Vishoti, is it about the exercise, the question? If yes, you can open your mic and ask. And if not, we'll wait with the questions. Because sometimes if it's first time you're doing constellation or representing, it's hard. So I'll try to be as slow as I can. So Hitesh, if you feel that I'm fast, let me know because I have the tendency to be fast.
Sure.
Okay. So we start with 3 representation. 1 representation represent, and you bring whatever you want to, I'm just bringing to examine. Me in this incarnation, which means my name, Yael, okay? And I put it in the desk, in the table in front of me. Another representation to represent my soul, okay? Whatever you have, again, and I put it in the desk. Another representation is my soul potential. Okay, so we have 3 representations. Me in this lifetime, in this incarnation. So my name is Yael, but it's your name. My soul and my soul potential. Okay, 3 representations. So we place them in front of us. And now we place in one hand, it doesn't really matter if it's right or left. We are placing one of our hands on me in this incarnation. You can close your eyes, take a deep breath. Notice what comes up. And I will say that it's okay if nothing comes up, especially if it's your first time that you're doing that. But it's really okay if nothing comes up. So you're just noticing. And take your hands from me in this incarnation and put it on your soul. And again, deep breath. And notice what comes up. Again, noticing it's about sensations, feelings, maybe visions, doesn't have to have. And if nothing comes up, no sensation, no feelings, no visions, it's also okay. So we're just noticing. And take your hands off and put it on my soul potential. And again, notice what comes up. And if, again, nothing comes up, just ask yourself, is it the same nothing that I had before? Or is this nothing is different? And again, notice sensations, feelings, emotions. And take your hands off and put it back on me in this incarnation. And notice or ask yourself, or this representation, do I want to stay where I am or do I want to move? As representing me in this incarnation. And if you want to stay, great. And if you want to move yourself to a place you want to move. And notice the change in the energy. What has shifted? What sensation shifted? Feelings, emotions, what has shifted? And again, if nothing happens, it's also okay. Put your hands off and put it on my soul. Again, notice what comes up. What are the sensations and the energies? And if the soul wants to move her. And notice the change in the energy. What has shifted in the sensations, in the feelings, in the emotions. Take your hands off and put it on my soul potential. Notice what comes up here. Does this representation wants to stay where it is or wants to move? And if it wants to move it. And notice the change in the energy. Again, we are talking about sensations, feeling, emotion, not about interpretations or understanding. Constellation are not about that. And now I want you to take your hands off and bring to the field whatever, without knowing, whatever blocks me from fulfilling the full potential of my soul. Okay, it can be, again, sticking up, whatever you have. I'll bring this one. So the new representation is whatever blocks me from fulfilling the full potential of my soul. And you put it in the field in front of you, wherever you feel you want to. After you place it, you're taking your hand and putting it on me in this incarnation. And look at the field. Look at the soul, at the potential, at the blocks. What happened when you look at all of them? What are the sensations and emotion that comes up? Maybe insights? What happens? And ask yourself or notice, is me in this incarnation wants to stay where it is, or does it want to move? And if it wants to move it. And notice what has changed in the energy. Again, sensations, feelings, emotions. Just notice. And take your hands off and put it on my soul. And when you represent your soul, look at the potential. Look at what blocks the potential. How does it feel? What happens in your body when you do that?
A little slow again.
Slower? Okay. Doing my best, but I'll do even slower. Great. Okay. Yeah. So just notice what happens when you look at the potential, at the blocks. How does it feel in your body? And notice, does the soul wants to stay where she is, or does she want to move? And if you want to stay, great. And if she wants to move, move her. And again, notice what has changed in the energy. And take your hands off and put it on the potential of the soul. And when you stand on the potential of the soul and you look at the blockage, the blocks, what happened? How does it feel? What comes up? What happens in your body? Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to move? And if you want to move, move yourself. And notice what has changed within me now that I moved. What happened to the energy, to the feeling, to the sensations now that I moved? And take your hands off and put it on the blocks. And notice what happens here. What are the sensations? What are the insights? And when you are on the blocks and you look at the soul, what comes up in your mind, in your body? And when you look at the potential, what happens? What happens now? What comes up in your mind? What happens in your body when you look at the potential? Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to move? And if you want to stay, great. If you want to move, move yourself. And notice the change in the energy. What happened in this new place? Take your hands off, and we're going to bring last representation. We bring representation to what can help me fulfill my soul potential. So you bring whatever you want to. What can help me fulfill my soul potential? And you put it in the field, wherever you want to. And again, we don't need to know what can help us. It's like there are so many factors that we are not even aware of. So we just bring, if you are writing, just write what can help me. What can help me fulfill my soul potential? And you put it in the field. And you go back and stand on me in this incarnation. And when you stand on me in this incarnation and you look at what can help me, notice what comes up. How do you feel? And if me in this incarnation wants to stay, great. If it wants to move, move it. And notice the change in the energy. What happens now in your body? And take your hands off and put it on your soul. What happened now when the soul look at what can help her? What has changed in the energy? Notice that. And again, notice, does the soul want to move or stay? And if she wants to move, move her. And notice the change in the energy. What has changed? And if she wants to stay, it's also okay. And take your hands off and put it on the potential. Notice what comes up now when it looks at what can help me. What has changed in the energy? Does the potential wants to stay where they are, or that they want to move? If they want to stay, great. If they want to move, move them. And notice the change in the energy. And take your hands off and put it on the blockages. What happens here now? What happened when you are on the blockages and you're looking at what can help me? What kind of feeling and sensation, maybe insight, comes up? Or does the blockages want to stay where they are, or does they want to move? And if they want to move, move them. If they want to stay, it's okay. And notice the change in the energy. Take your hands off and put it on what can help me. Notice what comes up here. Sensations, feeling, maybe insights, maybe visions. Allow the energy, allows what comes up to just come up in the body. And if there are any messages to the soul, put your hand, your other hand, on the soul. And you're all muted, so if you have any message, you can speak it out loud to the soul. You can say, I am what can help you. And this is the message I have for you, dear soul. And just say the message. And if no message comes, it's also okay. And take your hands off. We're in our last round. So put your hand back on the blockages. See what comes up. After the message came, the insight came. And if the blockages wants to stay, okay. And if they want to move, move them. And notice a change in the energy. And take your hands off and put it on the potential. What happened now after what can help me came and gave this message, or just energies shifted? What happened to the potential now? Does the potential representation want to stay where it is? Does he want to move? And if it wants to move, move it, and notice a change in the energy. And take your hands off and put it on the soul. She heard the message, she saw the potential, she saw the vision or the sensation, feelings, what happens here. And does the soul want to stay where she is? Does she want to move? If she wants to move, move her. And notice a change in the energy. And take your hands off and put it on me in this incarnation. What happened now for you in this incarnation when you see all of them? You see the potential, you see the blocks, you see what can help you, you see your soul, and the war movement in the field. What happened now to you? How do you feel? Do you want to stay where you are? Do you want to move? If you want to move, move yourself and notice the change in the energy. And see all the shifts in the field, all the movements. Because the movements are the shift in the soul, in us. So notice what happens in your body right now. Take a deep breath. Take your hands off and you can shake them a little bit. Okay, and you can all come back to the here and now.